So, I think I figured out how they're going to curtail the 2024 US election, and it's going to come in the form of a Trojan horse by the name of Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's do a deep dive into this guy and all the claims that he makes, and then the actual truth behind who this guy is. So, let's start off with just a simple search and Wikipedia, just to see what his handlers have to say about him. You see, Vivek actually went to St. Xavier High School, which is affiliated with the Jesuit order. Those of you who don't understand how evil that order is, I suggest you do a deep dive in there. Then they state that he went to Harvard University, where he received a Bachelor's of Arts in biology, which would mean the Bachelor's of Science? You know what? Your handlers are really bad and they screwed that up, but that's fine. Well, you also see that while he was in college, he actually liked to perform Eminem covers. And his alter ego, so not stage name, alter ego, and we all know how that goes in Hollywood, was Vivek. Really weird. But then he went to intern for a hedge fund and an investment bank at Goldman Sachs. I mean, if that doesn't scream an insider, I don't know what does. But then you see, after post-graduation from Yale Law School, he was actually awarded a fellowship by the Paul and Daisy Soros Foundation. That's George Soros' brother. I don't know about you guys, but if I see George Soros, that is a huge red flag. But you see, then it even gets worse, because apparently while he was in law school at Yale, he started a $2 billion company. I know, I mean, the guy is a genius, right? Almost like he's being sponsored and paid by someone. Now, the company that he made was a pharmaceutical company called Roivant. And boy, is there a lot on that company. Let's get into it. Now, what's interesting is Roivant is actually suing Moderna and Pfizer over patented COVID vaccine technology, the nanolipids specifically. But then it gets even weirder. Now, it gets even better because the company, partnership companies with Roivant, Arbutus, and Genevant are actually facing lawsuits from Acuitas Therapeutics. Now, what's interesting is Acuitas Pharmaceuticals is actually here in Canada, in Burnaby, BC. And it has been rumored that Justin Trudeau has investments in it through a bunch of shadow companies and that he might be guilty of basically racketeering. But what's also interesting is Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have put in a lot of money into that Acuitas Therapeutics company. Now, you also claim that you're against BlackRock, Vanguard, JP Morgan, and all of those big corporations who like to push ESGs and, things like that. But why do they have huge stakes in your company? Let me show you. So, JP Morgan Chase & Co. also increased their price objective on Roivant Sciences from $14 to $16. Interesting. Oh, look, BlackRock, also a major institutional investor and hedge fund player themselves, increased their ownership in your company by 4.1%. Weird. Now let's debunk his whole anti-China spiel, right? He says he's anti-China, anti-this, but it just so happens that he actually started two companies in China and has Chinese investments in them. Let me show you. So, you launched companies out of China and formed partnerships with Chinese firms. Those two Chinese firms are investors. Interesting. And here you are saying how we need a vaccine to basically curtail the pandemic. Interesting. Oh, Reuters actually wrote an article about how Roivant, your company, and Pfizer teamed up on an inflammatory disease drug. Lol. Now, you're also saying that you would like to, basically curtail all of these big corporations that have ESG agendas. So you started a venture called Strive Asset Management in 2022, where you partner up with PayPal. PayPal. You know, the guys that actually put in, if you speak online, we can take away your account. And then they kind of took that off and then silently put it back into their policies while everybody went back to sleep. Yeah, those guys. Now let's look at your ties to the World Economic Forum, where you said you sued them so you can get their name off of their website. But how did it get there, Vivek? Would it be because you're part of the Milken Institute, which is the WEF, basically official, but for the Americans? Yeah, it is. By the way, your handlers forgot to erase that off the internet and I found it. So let me show you. You see, here it is said that they wanted to actually give you an awesome little trophy, and they put Milken Institute Then I found you on Milken Institute, where you were basically saying how everything with the pandemic and the vaccine, blah, blah, blah. You see, the Milken Institute was founded in 1991 in the United States, and it is basically similar to the World Economic Forum, which was made in Switzerland in 1971. You guys basically do the exact same things, just on different, landscapes. But here is where your PR team really screwed up. It was the shirt that says, "Save Trump, vote for Vivek," where I figured out that you are basically running this show. You have no platform. You have no political platform. You have no idea what you're doing. You even said it yourself that you're basically just there to have debates on stage. But you are going to steal votes from Trump so that the Democrats can steal the election again. You're basically a corporate Trojan horse. And you are repeating everything that we have said online. And it's really funny that Elon Musk, the guy who opened the floodgates to basically open speech, who has been copying everything we're saying, you are now repeating everywhere on those stages. Interesting. But this is where your handler screwed up. See that little thing that says, "Save Trump, vote for Vivek," or "Vote Vivek"? Here's the thing. I believe that your handler might be a Jesuit order guy, and I think you should fire him because as a PR manager, he's really bad. And I'm starting to actually feel sorry for you guys because you guys are screwing up so bad and making rookie mistakes. And all I have to say is maybe give me a call, DM me on Instagram, and I can give you some pointers. Okay?